Hello, everyone. This is Animezingly Baka, the amazingly stupid podcast all about anime and movies and TV shows and manga and comics and books and music and so much more. Sans video games, of course. And of course, I'm your host, Mark Krishnez. Hi, how are y'all doing? Hopefully, well. I know I usually start with anime, but I have to get one thing out of the way. I finally watched Jurassic World Rebirth, and holy shit, this is maybe in the running, if not already the champion of the worst triple A, high budget, big studio backed movie I've ever seen. I was flabbergasted watching this thing at how bad it was. I can't even begin to describe it. It has, well, one, the story, I don't I don't know, but I guess, and I realized this after the doctor dude at one point was asked, "So, what do you want to do, or what would you do with this blood if you had the chance, if it was your choice?" "I would give it to the public. Then instead of healing some, we can heal everyone." I guess they're trying to get this blood from dinosaurs because they can use it to create a cure for some illness. I don't fucking know. Who gives a shit? And I think the reason why the story never leached onto me, fell onto me, why I never grasped it really was because these are some of the most paper thin, empty, worthless characters I've ever seen in a movie. And Scarlett Johansson's performance is fucking terrible. The rest are okay-ish, I guess. I don't really know. But she is so bad in it. And the way she delivers lines, they're bad lines, but the way she delivers them makes them sound even worse. It's these characters fucking suck. And Xavier, I think is his name, the boyfriend of the one normal dude, the normal family, the boyfriend of the girl. He has one of the worst character introductions I've ever seen. And I think it's so exaggerated and so heightened so that he can have this glow up over the course of the movie so that he can redeem himself, starting with his diving off the boat to save her. But it is one of the worst character introductions I've ever seen. Just like this character fucking sucks so much. He has no redeeming quality. Why does the girl like him? And she's like, "Oh, you have to wait. He'll grow on you." I'm like, what are you fucking talking about? This dude fucking is the worst human being in the world. I don't understand. I don't understand how anyone could be this way. Just fucking the most piece of shit character ever. And I'm assuming he's supposed to grow on you over the course of the movie and you're supposed to be a fan of his and blah, blah, blah. No, he wasn't. He didn't. He fucking sucked all the way through. Sure, he gets less sucky, but I at no point said, "You know what, Xavier, you're a pretty good dude. I like you." No, I don't. I hate you. I hate all of you. And then you have this new hybrid dinosaur that is the dumbest looking thing I've ever seen. It doesn't even look like a dinosaur anymore. It looks like some fucking low grade, budget ass horror game monster. It's like someone said, "Hey, what if we took a beluga whale and then gave it two little T-Rex arms and then two really, really long arms? And it's got feet. And I think it has a fin at the end, maybe. I don't fucking know. Who gives a shit? Because it's the stupidest fucking thing. It's just got a big old large skull for a head. It looks like a fucking. It looks like that. I've started rewatching the Alien movies. I watched Alien 3 for the first time. What a piece of crap that is, too. Oh my God. That movie starts off and you're like, oh, I watched the assembly cut, to be clear. But that movie starts off and you're like, okay, this seems like it could be all right. I don't understand what all the hate or where all the hate comes from. That doesn't last long. And it just turns into this really incredibly stupid fucking story. I'm just like, what are we doing? And I just realized that, what's his name? Not Lynch, David. Blah, 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 blah. What's the director's name? Whatever his name is that I can't think, he did Seven. And he's married to her. Doesn't matter. I just realized now that his movie Mother is actually a remake of Alien 3. And it's just as bad. That fucking movie sucks too. But where was I? Jurassic World Rebirth. Everything's about birth here. That's what we're going with. Alien 3, stupid looking alien. That's what this thing looks like, the fucking alien when it first, the chest burster, that version of the alien that just got little arms and then some long arms and some legs. Stupid fucking movie. I hate it. Now, it could have won me over. It could have won me over. I would have given it 5 stars instead of the half star you gave it on Letterboxd. If at the very end, spoilers, who gives a fuck? It's Jurassic World Rebirth. I also looked at the box office and thought, oh, maybe this one underperformed and they're not going to make any more of it. No, it did not. It fucking made almost $900 million worldwide. We're going to get so many more of these stupid fucking movies. But at the end, to distract this big new monster, because it's attracted to light, Mahershala Allah, I always forget his name. I think it's Mahershala. I want to get it right because I love him and he deserves to get his name said right. So let us double check his name and get the exactness of it just right. Let's Mahershala. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but Mahershala Ali. So at the end, he takes the one dude's flares and doesn't quite become the scene from the first movie where Jeff Goldblum takes him and is running away with him because he's in water, but it's kind of evoking that vibe. That's what I got. My first thought was, oh, you're trying to do a little callback to that, even though I think, didn't we get that kind of in Jurassic World, the first one, where she's drawing and she's tracking the T-Rex to fight the fucking Denominus Indominus? What the fuck was in that movie? Also, this movie made me miss Chris Pratt. I never thought I'd ever say that. So, thank you, Jurassic World Rebirth. You've made me utter those words. Fucking thanks a lot. But when he is using the flares to track this new D-Rex, I guess it's called Domtodicus Rex or some shit. He's going away and, like, oh, he's probably going to get killed. I'm like, oh, I don't want him to die. He was one, I enjoyed his interaction with the doctor dude, the few they've had, where he's just like, man, you're so weird. I'm like, oh, I kind of like this camaraderie here. I like it better than this. I don't know. She starts looking at the doctor dude kind of romantically. I'm like, whatever. I think it most stood out when he fell from the rope and she's like, oh my God, you're still alive. Oh, I can't wait to fuck you later. But when they find out that he shoots off a flare at the end and they go to like turn around the boat right before the end of the movie to go save him because he's still alive. If the movie decided when he's smiling and it's like, oh yeah, I'm still alive, I'm here just treading water and all that. If the movie just some random other dinosaur just came up and bit him and killed him, and then the movie cuts to black credits, 5 stars. 5 stars. I would have said, hey, all this shit that happened before, I don't care. You got me. You got me, movie. You won me over. But it didn't do that. I kept waiting because I thought it was lingering a little bit too much. I was like, are they going to do it? Are they really going to do it? Is this why people like this movie? Is this why it's not fucking 1 star on Letterboxd? No, that wasn't the case. Unfortunately, it was just one of the worst movies I've ever seen. My God. At least big budget things. I've seen worse things that are low budget, that are just embarrassing. I mean, something like Mortal Kombat Annihilation comes to mind. That is just this very piece of shit. Like, it's, you can't compare with that, though. You have to compare it with, like, movies. And if we could just compare them even to Jurassic World Dominion, which I really, really dislike, I would still watch that 1,000 times over this. I don't ever want to rewatch this movie, but I guarantee I will at some point. If I ever do another Jurassic Park rewatch entire, that's probably the only way I would ever watch this again. But I own it now. Yay! Go me! Ugh. And I can't wait to watch the next one. But on happier news, let us get to anime. Another great week. And I think I said last week, this might be the week of the highest highs where everything was just firing all cylinders. No, this is the week. This is the week. Let's just get Campfire cooking out of the way. Solid episode, some fun moments. I really dislike this, cemented my dislike of that guild leader elf character. He's fine, he's whatever, but I just don't. His humor doesn't jive with me. How excited he is and how full of himself he is and how lazy and not wanting to do it. Like, he's just a very boring archetype. I don't like him. But I really enjoyed going to get the Jewels of Praise with the second in command, the vice guild leader, I guess he is. I don't know the actual titles they have. But I like that character. So they're getting jewels appraised that were inside the mimic box because the bag was actually full of stuff this time. Usually it's not, but every now and again the bag can be full of some stuff, and this has some very rare jewels in it. So they get, I don't know, I think close to 1,000 gold. And I don't know. It was a good episode, but like I said, it isn't the best show to talk about because it's just not the most. It's a very chill, relaxed show. The other thing that happened was the cook guy got his A license, which will allow him to, I think, get free meals at guilds across the country, whatever you call it, and other perks. They can take on any quest, so that's gonna be nice as well. And he was freaking out about it. Oh my god, it's too soon for me to already be in A rank. I'm like, why? I really want to go back and rewatch the show, or at least the first episode, to see how we got there. I don't remember us getting that explanation as to how we got there, what his life was before that, because I'm just, he really does, he's got no motivation. It's like, you know what? And I don't, you just want to go around and eat good food. That works too. That works too. But I don't know. Getting an A rank license, whatever it's called, as opposed to your C rank. I mean, you don't have to take on the quest. It just allows you to. It just opens up more things to you. You don't have to engage with all those things. They're just there now. Settle down there. Calm down. I know with Fell and all of them, they're going to want to, so he's not going to have a choice. But still, they're there to protect you. You got all this other stuff. You got all these gods who care about you. They're not going to let you die. Calm down there, buddy. Calm down there. But the absolute highlight of this week was Gachiakuta. What a fantastic episode. The first half or so was this incredibly well animated, super fun car. It's not a car chase, a car scene where we're back with, I forget the adult's name, but Deer, the one with the pacifier. Those two fighting against the old dude with power arms. And is his power arms or hands? Doesn't matter. But they're getting into it because Deer busts a hole through this trash piece, but it doesn't seem like it went all the way through. So they're going to have to do some work. But then the old dude is like, well, looks like I'm going to have to stop you. I'm going to bust out my arms. And then the trash piece starts to lift off and they all start falling. And they're falling down this open area. And when they're falling, the old dude's like, well, even though we're falling, can't let you go. So he goes there to attack them. And as he's about to land a hit on them, a car that was just there in the trash dump as well falls and hits all of them, and they all end up in the seats. So, other cleaner with pacifier boy, what are their names? But they end up in the front seat, and old dude ends up in the back seat. Show me these characters. Let's see what they are. I know Deer. Oh dear. Oh dear. Where is he? Where? Oh, the other way. Bro. So Bro and Deer. Bro and Deer and Bundes. They're all in the car together. And it just gets incredibly wild and hectic through all of this thing. They're all freaking out in there. He's trying to use the steering wheel to turn while they're in air. Obviously, it's not doing anything. It's just moving the axles or whatever so that the tires turn, but they're in air, so they're not going anywhere. They eventually fall on land, and it's just doing a lot of swirls and dealing with trash as it's coming towards them. The wheel eventually just completely disappears at some point. It goes flying out the window, and Bundes uses his arms to start knocking trash out of the way. They see a tunnel where they can kind of, if Bro uses his bandana power thing, he grabs onto a loose, like, not can, it's not a tube or anything, but just he grabs onto a piece of the environment that allows him to change the trajectory of the car they're in to this tunnel and get in there. But the whole car ride, which is probably a good 5 minutes, is just so fun, so well animated. I have to imagine everyone who worked on that scene had the absolute, they just had a blast because it's just so much fun. It was one of the most thrilling, exciting, unique looking scenes in an anime I've seen in a very long time. I was enthralled watching it. And it's not even that like, I'm sure for a lot of people, more intense action scene between two characters would be more exciting and more exciting visually, but this was just it's the kind of vibe I like, where it's just wild and crazy and fun. It was great. And when they get into that little pipe, well, it's a big pipe because it can fit a car. They run into Engine, who still has that one dude following him, who just wants Engine to attack him so that they can fight back. But Engine's not going to have it because, like, let's just remind ourselves of the situation. If I attack you, you'll attack me. Okay, I'm not going to do that. All right. So just fucking stop with that. It's not going to happen. So you have all of that for a good half of the episode, if not a little more. And then we finally get back to Rudo and the Raider leader. What is his name? Zodal? Typhoon? Yeah, what's your nickname? Can I just call you Total? Or Zodal? I don't like either names. But Zodal, they're having this conversation about going to the sphere and all that jazz. And then Rudo eventually chimes in. She's like, oh, just you want to go to the sphere and get your revenge, blah, blah, blah. And Rudo talks about how things are different now because he has this new group of people who appreciate him, and love's probably too strong of a word at this point, but I'm going to use it anyway. They appreciate him and love him for who he is. All of these cleaners, all of these givers that he's met here on the ground level. And now they matter to him as well, because before he just had the one dude on the sphere who treated him well and loved him for who he was. And now he has this entire group who have accepted him, and they're having this whole back and forth. And that's when Zodal just snaps. He's like, well, I guess either did that. He just starts to attack him. And at one point during the early parts of the attack, he says, oh yeah, where are your givers now? And then you just see shoot through the ground in the background this projectile looking thing, that huge attack that looks very much like a closed umbrella. And then it opens up, move the camera to the character. Obviously, it's Engine, and he's just there, floating down, beautiful, right here. And it made me tear up. And I think, because I was trying to think, why did this affect me that way? Why did it move me that way? And I think it's because of Rudo's speech that happened just before that, where he's talking about, you know, finally finding this group of people who appreciate and accept him for who he is, and how important that is. Because that's his whole thing with wanting to get back to the sphere, is to get to these people who all treat him wrongly, including this young girl who he was friends with. He thought, like, well, at least she'll still believe in me, but no, she just threw this toy I gave her, this stuffed animal, fucking down like he now has this group, and it's just a really lovely moment. I was thinking about it earlier too, trying to think of why it moved me so much, and when I was thinking about it, it made me tear up even more, because I am someone who has a lot of baggage in terms of in the family department, where I don't look at family, blood relatives, the same way as a lot of people do. That means nothing to me. Blood relation means nothing to me. It doesn't mean I automatically dislike anyone who's blood related, of course, but I don't have the unconditional aspect of blood relation, love type thing. I don't, it doesn't mean anything. So to me, my friends, my very good friends, they're all family to me. They are my family, and they mean the world to me. And I genuinely love them and cherish them. And so I really clicked with everything he was saying, and then seeing, he's on his own. This guy's saying that to him. You don't know what's going to happen in this situation, because Rudo's still new to all this thing. Can he handle this guy on his own? Probably not. So when Engine, the wonderful person he is, comes there and just says right there, and then it cuts to the ED. I'm like, yes, yes, yes. And you also get and after the credits scene where they just confirm that Jabber is still alive, as if any of us really thought he was dead. Is he really gonna die by fucking Reaper going bang, bang, bang? No, I would have loved that, but that's not gonna happen. Maybe a monster could come out right at the end. There's like he's floating away, he's treading water, in some water inside his trash beach, and then a monster comes and eats him. I would have been all right with that. But yeah, fantastic episode of Gachiakuta. Oh god, there are only, I think, 4 episodes left, but I'm riding a high right now. I want this high to last until the end of the season, because I'm just having a blast. These last few episodes, it's just been 2 great weeks of anime. All right. Spy Family was fantastic as well. This is probably my actual favorite episode of the season, because it's all in the hijacker thing. We get more stuff with Anya. We get a very little bit of Yor in this. She's like, where's Anya? And thinking about this field trip, and she freaks out because she calls another parent who asks them about their kid, if their kid's home. And their kid's fine. The field trip was canceled. Like, don't you know? And Yor freaks out. And I thought that was going to lead to Yor in some disguise rescuing Anya at the very end of the episode, where the one dude, I think, because there's 3 of the kidnappers, the one dude freaks out. He's like, no, because the leader of the group decides to stop with all this, because you see his backstory, which made me realize this dude's older than I thought he was. I did not think he was old enough to have a daughter that old, but He's doing all this because the government killed his daughter. So he wants to punish specifically because you have a lot of government officials whose kids go to school. So all these well-off kids who don't have to worry about anything. But then Anya is saying a bunch of stuff. She's trying to distract them and keep them from doing all this. So she says, you know what? I'm already hungry. I would like another snack. It's like, oh my God, are these kids all malnourished? Wait, is that why Damien also like are these kids like are things way worse in this territory than I realized? I've been out of the loop. I haven't been watching the news. Are all these kids just underfed? Now I feel bad. I can't go through with this. These kids aren't well off getting everything they want. They don't even have enough food to eat. And he starts freaking out and losing his resolve. The woman kidnapper is kind of in the middle between, but then the other dude who was the driver, he's like, no, we have to go through this. We have to. He's starting to make executive decisions. And I think he takes Anya out and is running away with her, or maybe is going to attack her. But then the head maid, a helper of her best friend, the girl, she rescues her. But I thought that was going to be Yor. I thought Yor was going to just be there for a very quick moment, do some fast saving, and get out of there before anyone could recognize her because she'd be disguised up, she'd be cloaked or something. But that didn't happen, which is fine. But I think it was just a really well done episode that had a lot of fun moments with Anya doing whatever she could in her abilities to save everyone on the bus. There were a lot of fun times where the one leader of the school, the headmaster, he goes on the bus, takes the place of the driver because he wants to be with his kids, help them if they need it, be there for them for support. And he just sees her like kind of like eating or whatever and playing with her neck bomb. He's like, oh my God, she seems fine. And he sees Damien like, he's fine. Everyone seems, did I even have to come on her? Everyone seems fine with this situation. Like her resolve is crazy. She's got fucking nerves of steel. And when she gets up, he's like, oh my God, she doesn't have nerves of steel. She has nerves of tungsten or whatever the fuck it was. But you had a lot of fun moments where he's just kind of confused by the situation and blown away by her, like because he's recalling when they first met. She's like, "Oh, I love to put myself in tricky situations to see how to just see my resolve or whatever it was." And she's like, "Oh my God, she was serious," but that was all great. And I think the way they handled the kidnapper and his backstory was really well done as well. It does make you sympathize with him, specifically him, not the other two. You see where he's coming from. And it's clear through the whole thing that he's not trying to I guess they have the backup plan with the bag of bombs and other things where the plan is to do something drastic, but at the same time, they're using these fake necklaces that don't have bombs. So I never felt like he was probably the most concrete in what they were going to do. But it's all resolved now. So where the next, I'm curious if the next episode is going to continue from this and mention any of this, or if it's just going to move on to the next tiny story arc. But a really fun episode. And then My Hero Academia, we had the culmination of the one for all for one, everyone fight, taking down all for one, finally for once. Great episode. I am kind of surprised that we're already there. It's now been confirmed that it's an 11 episode final season, so we only have 3 episodes after this. But I was pleasantly surprised by the pacing and the fact that they didn't. I think they could have dragged out this fight for one more episode, but they didn't. They completed it. You learn that it's like, okay, well, Deku's his actual superpower is, I think the way it is essentially is just his ability to inspire everyone around him. So when everyone starts coming to help him and is distracting All For One in his weird fucking new form, allowing and some just come there to support Deku as he's making his way there to give him one final smash. It's great. They really knocked it out of the park with this season, this final season, a way of wrapping up the story. Of course, we still have 3 episodes left. I'm curious what those will be. I don't know if in the manga they have a flash forward eventually where they show Deku's, because there's also the question of, so what exactly is going on for One For All? Because he transferred it into All For One, but he had like a little leftover remnant that allowed him to get this final smash where it wasn't just his strength alone, because he'd only been training for like 2 years at this point. It was the strength of all of them, and that's why it's the most powerful smash and is able to take down All For One. But what is the status of One For All? Does he still have it? Will it revert back to him now that All For One's defeated? Is One For All as a perk, as a quirk? Is it just gone? Because All For One had it and now he's dead? I don't. We'll find out over the last few episodes. But it was just a really great, again, Avengers Endgame type episode where everyone's coming in. We get to see a lot of characters who aren't able to go there, just supporting him from where they are, whether it be Yura, the floaty girl, shedding a tear, and all that. So I'm just very, very happy with how they wrapped up the fight. Again, I think they really could have dragged it out, and they didn't. Some great visuals in there too. Even Bakugo still shows up to support Deku. I want to see them bro it out in one of these last few episodes. Just be like, oh yeah, bro. But a very, very, very good episode. There's not like a lot to say about it because it was basically the build up to him reaching him, then doing the one thing that I was like, okay, Deku, I get it. You're so good and you want to redeem everyone kind of. All For One doesn't need redemption. Don't. I take it as when he's like, oh, you're not this horrible monster, and eventually says you're just an old man. I think the way I'm taking it is not so much as, you know what, you're not there's still some good in you or whatever. I take it more as you're not this big bad evil monster you thought you were. You're just a sad old lonely man. You're not this horrible huge thing that you thought you were. You're just a pathetic, sad, old, lonely little man. Go away. And obviously he's not using it in that kind of demeanor. He doesn't have that manner to him. He's like, but I think he's just more so trying to take away from the way All For One has thought about himself. That's how I want to take it, because I don't want to take it as you don't need to try to find the good in everyone, Deku. Some people are just all bad. They're just all bad. Shigaraki, yes, you can find the good in him. He's done a lot of terrible things, and they go through that as well. He's done a lot of bad things, but when you look at his circumstances, it's a very tragic story for Shigaraki. Very, very tragic. So I get it with him. With All For One, no. He's done nothing. Nothing to make you say, oh, maybe. No. Fucking awful piece of shit. But a very, very good episode. Now we just are going to get to see. I'm assuming the next episode will be the aftermath cleanup, and maybe that'll continue in the 10th as well. And then, or the 10th could be everyone hanging out after the fact. And then the 11th could be a flash forward where you see where everyone is as adults. Because I don't know if this is a thing, and I don't need this, but I think it would be fun if we see Deku as an adult and he's with Floaty Girl. That's all I kind of want to see from a flash forward is that I want to see Deku, Floaty Girl on a double date. They got a kid too with Bakugo and whoever the hell he's in a relationship. I want to see Deku and Bakugo be the best of buds as adults. And yeah. Anywho, that is going to do it. I also threw in my watch list, but I haven't started yet. I forget what it was called, but there was some anime that was just randomly advertised. And I'm like, oh, this sounds like it could be all right. And it's called Let's Play. What's the description of this? Samara Sam Young is a developer in Los Angeles who's about to achieve her dreams with her first video game, Ruminate. That is, until a popular streamer gives the game a scathing review. Even worse, Sam finds out the troublesome critic is now her new neighbor. Get lost in a comedic, romantic, and all too real story about gaming, memes, social anxiety. Come for the plot, stay for the doggo. Is doggo a meme or something? I'm assuming. I don't know. But it sounds like it could be fun. So I'm going to check that out at some point. But that is going to do it for this year episode of Animezingly Baka. Once again, I am Marcus Nez. Y'all can find me pretty much everywhere at PX Sausage. If you enjoy this here show or any of the stuff I do and what have you, you can support me and my nonsense over at patreon.com/PXS. There you can get access to random posts here and there about whatever, as well as a private Discord channel and some fancy Discord roles, depending on your tier, of course. Or you could just support me to support me if that is your fancy. That is, again, patreon.com/PXS. In addition to Patreon, you can find links to the site, the YouTube, the Discord, and so much more over at pxsausage.com. That is the letter P, the letter X, sausage.com. But that is it. That is all. As always, thank you for watching or listening. I hope you enjoyed this here episode, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. But for now, adios, arrivederci.